Every frame of animation you watch is a drawing, not a computer rendering, not a photograph. A drawing made by hand one after another at 24 frames per second. A single episode of anime is roughly 24 minutes long. At 24 frames per second, that is roughly 34,000 frames. And most of them are drawn by people earning less than minimum wage. Here is how an episode of anime actually gets made. It starts with money, which comes from a production committee. In Japan, most anime is not funded by the studio that makes it. It is funded by a collection of companies: a publisher, a music label, a merchandise company, a streaming platform, a toy manufacturer, who each invest in the project and each take a portion of the rights. This committee owns the property. The animation studio is a contractor. The studio receives a budget, a schedule, and a script. The budget is almost always insufficient for the schedule. The schedule is almost always insufficient for the quality. The studio absorbs the difference through overwork. Once production begins, the director breaks the script into scenes. A storyboard artist draws a rough visual plan of the episode. Every camera angle, every character movement, every cut, in simplified thumbnail form. A finished storyboard for a 24-minute episode can run to several hundred pages. Then the animation supervisor approves the design of every character and piece of equipment that will appear, ensuring they are consistent with every other episode. Then the key animators begin work. Key animators are the senior artists. They draw the most important frames, the beginning and end of each movement, the peak of an action, the emotional close-up. Their drawings define the performance of each character in each scene. What they do not draw is everything in between. That work goes to the in-between animators. In-between animation is the process of filling in the frames between the key animators' drawings, creating the illusion of fluid motion. A key animator might draw 12 frames of a punch. The in-between animator draws the 40 frames between them. In-between animators in Japan are typically new to the industry. They are paid per drawing, usually between 100 and 200 yen per frame, roughly 60 pence to £1.20 at current rates. A fast in-between animator might complete 200 drawings in a day. That is a daily wage below what a convenience store cashier earns. The drawings then go to a cleaning team, who redraw each rough sketch as a clean, consistent line. Then to a digital coloring team, who fill in the colors according to the episode's color scripts. Then to a compositing team, who layer the colored drawings over background art, add camera movements, apply filters, and render the final frames. Backgrounds are painted separately by a small background team. A richly detailed interior scene that appears for 30 seconds on screen can take a single artist several days to complete. The finished composited footage goes to a sound studio, where a director oversees the recording of voice actors, then separately the music and sound effects. In Japan, voice acting is recorded after the animation is complete, the opposite of the Western approach, which means the animators must match their character movements to a timing guide rather than a recorded performance. Everything is then assembled by an editing team and delivered to the broadcaster, often mere hours before the episode airs. This process, for a single 24-minute episode, typically takes between 8 and 12 months when counted from green light to broadcast. It involves dozens to hundreds of people. It is repeated every week during a broadcast season. The finished episode you watch in 24 minutes represents tens of thousands of hours of cumulative human labor. Most of the people who perform that labor are anonymous. Their names appear in a credit scroll that lasts less than 90 seconds and that most viewers skip. The industry runs because enough people love animation sufficiently to do the work at wages that would be rejected in almost any other profession. That love is visible in every frame. The economics are less visible, but they are there too. Now you know.